What is going on, my friends? We are back on the Let's Play world. And for those of you guys who don't know, every 10 episodes, I do a world tour. And every episode, I'm trying to build something even bigger and even better than the one before. For example, last episode, we built up this absolutely massive wheat farm with a little farmhouse that holds some trading villagers. And trust me, this thing is really big. It took almost 36 stacks of seeds to place this entire field in. And I want to go even bigger. Now, you might be wondering, what can I build that is bigger than this wheat farm? Well, today we are going to dig out a massive crater in the side of a mountain, and I want to place in a fully automatic wool farm. Before we get into building the sheep farm, I want to head down to the slime farm, because currently the rates are not very good, but I think I know why. First off, I built this thing in a cave, unlike most people who build it in a swamp. So with that being said, I need to run around the caves nearby and light them all up with some torches. Jumping straight into this, I did realize that lighting up the lush caves would be quite easy. With all the hanging roots from above, we have plenty of light in these caves. I also did run into some good old diamonds in the wall, which is pretty rare in this update. Moving further down into the caves, I ran into an absolute massive cave. And man, this thing was full of mobs. So I took those guys out and kept on going. And even some more diamonds. Well, I think it's just one. Oh, and that is what we like to see. We got some slime spawning. Lots of big slimes too. We got one up there. We just had one fall down the middle, and I think the one on the bottom just fell. Or it's about to. Oh, and look at that. We are now up to 40 slime balls. I don't need this farm to produce crazy rates, but it would be nice to get like a stack or two every hour. And then in the future, we'll build one way, way bigger. Besides that though, we got a bunch of goodies while lighting up the caves, including an arrow through my head. We got almost 5 stacks of lapis lazuli. I even got a music disc from a creeper, and then almost 2 stacks of raw gold, which is perfect because I just wasted all of my gold on golden apples for the farming villagers. Next up, I want to bring some sheep over to the nearby area of where we're going to build this wool farm, because I want to do all my breeding nearby so I don't have to do that treacherous journey with the sheep, all the way from the pens at the top of our village to the side of a mountain. But before we do so, I just want to thank you guys so much for all the love and support you guys have been showing me. It means a lot. And if you want to support me in the future, maybe hit that like and subscribe button, because it will make a massive difference. But let's get on with the episode. All right, first things first, I want to set up a little sheep pen up here. Something like this should be plenty big enough, so let's add in some gates. And then I was smart enough to bring some wheat just in case there was sheep up here, which there is. We got one right here, and I'm pretty sure there's one right there. Let's grab these two, open up these gates, and get them inside. With the gates closed, we can now start the breeding process. But I'm gonna need a lot more wheat because I only have these two. Luckily, we have that massive wheat farm, right? Well, sadly, I still do have to harvest this thing by hand. Wait, that gives me an idea. I have a bunch of open land right here. I have plenty of villagers in the train station, which means I can build an auto wheat farm. All right, let me go get the materials for it and we're gonna get started. Jumping straight into building this farm, I started out with building the collection area. This is just gonna be a 9x9 pit with some minecart rails and a minecart hopper. Following that, I built a border around the farm so the villager does not get attacked by zombies. And yeah, it's bigger than the actual collection area itself, but I did it for aesthetic reasons, just because I really don't like having a perfect cube in my worlds. I got all the ground tilled and added in all the seeds, and then it was time to bring the villager over. So I built the trusty dirt bridges with some minecart rails on top and transported the villager over to the farm. Once that was complete, it was just a few small tasks and this farm would be finished. After finishing the first farm, I jumped straight into building another. The rates for each one of these is about 150 wheat per hour, which isn't very great, but on the flip side, they're extremely easy to build, and that's why I decided to build another. So now hopefully we can at least get 300 wheat an hour. Just about an hour of AFKing later, and oh man, did this farm produce. Maybe it was almost 2 hours, I think it was. Besides that though, I've gotten a few potatoes, also some bone meal from the composter, and then some seeds. And the reason for the bread is because you need to fill up the villager's inventory before they actually start farming. And I gave them wheat, and it turns out they just craft that wheat into bread. I'll remember that for next time though, or at least I hope. Well, I got all the wheat and a chest, and I'm just making my way up to the little sheep pen, because it's time to do some breeding. Throw this thing right here, put all the wheat in there. Actually, let's keep a stack on us and breed a little bit more real quick. And I wonder if there's any more sheep just to speed up this process. Oh, looks like we got one right up here, and we also got one right down here. Come on, you two, just follow me. Let's see, are they smart enough to do this? Over the fence. Oh yeah, perfect. Ooh, there's another one up there too. Let me go grab him. Well, this should definitely speed up the process. Leave the wheat right there. You know what? Let's throw this chicken egg. Let's just throw it right there. No chickens. Very deep cave though. Now that the sheep pen is all finished finished up, I want to get to digging out this hole in the mountain because this thing is going to be huge. I got a few of the trees cleared out to give us a little bit of working room. Next up, I want to bring this all down about 3 blocks because we don't have a ton of space above us and I really don't want to poke through to the surface. So let's get rid of all this dirt and we'll come back through later and make this look a whole lot better. With a bunch of the terrain cleared out, I'm just going to go through with some birch planks and just use them as placeholder blocks just to get an idea of how this is going to be dug out. So we have a 17 block gap in between each one of these planks. And now I'm just going to bring each one of these up 5 blocks. And I think a shape like this should work perfect, which means it's now time to clear out a gazillion blocks. Well, not literally, but definitely a lot. And that took forever. But hey, at least the boring part's over with. Next up, I want to go along and fill all of this stone and gravel in with some dirt, and then have that dirt turn to grass, because that is what the wool farm will be sitting on. Got one side cleared out, so let's start placing some dirt in, and on to the next side. And just like that, the other side is done. And now we just have to wait for the dirt to turn into grass. But while we wait for that, I have a mission. For some reason, I've really had the urge to go conquer an ocean temple. It would be nice to get the gold, and I don't really need the sponges, or at least not yet. I just think it would be a fun thing to go do because we haven't really done any exploring recently. So I'm gonna get some invisibility potions set up and also some water breathing, and we're gonna head out to go look for an ocean temple. I think I've seen one nearby though. Netherwort, pufferfish, redstone, and 8-minute water breathing potions. More netherwort, golden carrot, fermented spider eye, redstone, and 6 potions of invisibility, which means we now have 48 minutes of water breathing and 48 minutes of invisibility. I got a boat with the chest all crafted up, and now it's time to go hit the water and see if we can find ourselves an ocean temple, or maybe 2 with the amount of potions we have. I'm pretty positive there was an ocean monument like right out in this way. I barely remember coming over here on the first episode there being one near that sunken ship. Oh, and it looks like there is. Before we jump down there, I just thought I would explain why I am using the invisibility potions. For those of you guys who don't know, if I take all my armor off and drink one of those invisibility potions, the guardians will not be able to see me, which in turn means they can't do any damage to me. Oh, and they're aiming at me right now. Okay, a little too close. So that is why I crafted them. And the water breathing is just so I don't have to come up for air. So I'm gonna get myself ready to go, take off all my armor, have the potion set up on the hotbar, make my way around to the front of this temple, drink these potions, and here we go. Let's go see if we can conquer one of these temples. Look at this. None of these guys can see me. And we are now in the temple. And look at that. We have one right here. That is perfect. Take this guy out. Come on. Okay, one is gone. That was easy. I've never had that before. Get this sponge from him. We got a little... Is there any tunnels down here? No tunnels. Oh, there's one right here. Let's go for this. Anything in here? No, it doesn't look like it. We just got some guardians. Anything through here? Okay, we got one more right here. Sweet. At this rate, we're going to be able to take out like 4 of these temples. All right, now there's one more left. Where is this guy going to be? Up here, maybe? Okay, this is where we already came through. I'm going to go down. There's nothing down there. Is there any tunnels up here, maybe? Nope, none up there. All right, we're going to go back towards the entrance. There's no tunnels up here, right? No, it doesn't look like it. Nothing down at the bottom. All right, so it's got to be through this way, but I am not seeing any way to go. Yeah, no tunnels in here. No tunnels up here. Oh, there is a tunnel right there. Okay, that's where some gold is going to be. Nothing in here. These things are so tough to navigate. All right, maybe let's try over here. Already been through there. Got about 2 minutes of the potions left. All right, so he's got to be this way. See in here? I don't think he is. Oh, he's going to be around the outside. I know that for sure. All right, time to drink some more potions. Another invisibility and another water breathing. And there he is. All right, let's take this guy out. Got to be careful with his thorns effect. And that is all 3 main guardians taken out. Now, if we just wait 2 minutes and 23 seconds, we should no longer have the mining fatigue, which means I'm going to spend this little extra time looking for the sponge room. So far, I haven't seen a single sponge, which leads me to believe this might be a spongeless monument. I hope not, though. That will really suck. Luckily, we have plenty of potions to go conquer another one of these if we need to. All right, the mining fatigue is gone, so let's collect our gold. 8 blocks of gold, which is always nice, but no sponges, though. I think I'm just gonna start digging around for a few minutes, and hopefully we can find something. Well, that ocean monument did not have a sponge room, so I'm now on the lookout to hopefully find another monument monument, and maybe this one might have a sponge room. And it looks like we have another monument, which is perfect timing because the sun is about to go down. All right, let's take our potions and head down in to this monument. Take the armor off and let's go for a swim. Take out the first guy. Come on, you're almost there. Just a few more hits. Perfect. We got the second guy right up here. Let's take him out. Stop looking at me with your one eye. Come on. And just like that. And the third and final guy. Just a few more hits. Come on. Stop running away from me. Power hit. And perfect. All three have been taken out. I was gonna face it towards me, but I just realized I am invisible, so you guys cannot see me right now. I mean, you can see the sword that I'm holding, but it's now time to look for a sponge room. Well, I got the 8 more pieces of gold, but again, I don't think this one has a sponge room. It must just be my luck today. Well, luckily there's another monument right next to the one we were just at, and I still got a few more potions, so let's check this one. Jumping straight into conquering this third temple, I was moving quickly. I found all 3 boss guardians within 3 or 4 minutes of each other, and I'm glad to say the time spent here has paid off because I found a sponge room. Look at this, guys. Sadly, I can't harvest it yet though, because we still have mining fatigue. I do know some of these temples can have 2 sponge rooms, and I still do have 2 more potions left, so I might harvest this one and spend that extra 8 minutes looking around for another sponge room, because that would be really cool if there was 2 of them. Get out of here, Mr. Guardian. These are my sponges. Oh, it sounded like lightning or thunder, whichever one it is. Yeah, thunder. Oh my goodness, it's so close to the opening. I didn't even realize that. Mining fatigue is gone, so let's drink up these last 2 potions and collect this gold. Now let's go get those sponges. I'm pretty sure the best thing to harvest these things with is shears, and I don't have any, so this is gonna take a while. Luckily, I have 8 minutes of potions left. Well, actually 7 minutes. And that is every single wet sponge collected. All right, let's get out of here before the invisibility goes away, because then I'll really be a dead man. I will be back though, my friends, because one day you guys will become an XP farm. Well, I have successfully made it back to base, but the grind doesn't stop here. I still need to get all the blocks together and all the materials together that we are gonna use for this wool farm. And trust me, there's a lot. Hello there. We're awfully close, aren't we? Maybe a little too close. Well, I went down to the mine shaft to go collect some cobwebs because I need that string for dispensers. And as you guys saw, I got 3 more diamonds. And that's not even using my fortune. I silk touched them because I lost my fortune pickaxe. I have no idea where that thing is. Besides that, this should be all the blocks I'll need for the technical part of the wheat farm. So let's collect this thing up and head up to the mountain. Never mind, forgot the iron for the shears. First things first, I want to get the collection system built. So I'm going to be using minecart rails with a minecart hopper that is going to run beneath this entire farm. I just want to dig 2 blocks down and create a little bit of a tunnel. And I want to do this on both sides. Too bad I just realized I need to dig this back 2 more blocks. Great. Well, I got the 2 extra blocks cleared out, and now I'm going to get to placing in some redstone torches to power these rails. This will be the end over here, so I want to go 2 blocks down. I got the torch placed in, so I can do something like that. And I'll go right to here, and then I'm going to go all the way down, skip this one, and put a torch right here. That should do the job, and then I'm going to continue this trend. Same thing over on this side. With the rails placed in, I can place in the observers, and I'm just going to place them like this, not like that. With that done, it's now time to bring in the dispensers, which just are going to go directly on top of the observers. Last piece of redstone to place in is I just want to place some dust behind these dispensers, and then place these torches back in for now, just so no mob spawn. Now I can take the dirt and cover all this back up. The last thing to do when it comes to building this bottom section is to add in some glass, and this glass is going to house the sheep. Now I can't really start building the next layer of this farm until the sheep are in their little holding cells. Oh gosh, that sounds terrible. Well, it's time to get these guys in place, so let the chaos begin. Don't mind if you'd give me an ender pearl. Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. Okay, give me an ender pearl. Come on, give me an ender pearl. Oh yeah, we got an ender pearl. Oh, I can't get in there though. I ended up AFKing for a little bit just to let the grass grow in, which means it's now time to start working on the second layer, which is just gonna go directly above this one. It is definitely gonna be a tight squeeze though. Yeah, definitely. And these are the last 2 sheep that remain, which can only mean that all the sheep are now in place. And oh my goodness, was it a nightmare getting them up there. But hey, at least it's done. Now the last thing I need to do before prettying this place up is I need to dye all the sheep their colors that they need to be. There's 16 colors and we have 16 sheep on each side. So we can have 2 black sheep, 2 brown sheep, 2 white sheep, 2 blue sheep, 2 light blue sheep, and you guys get the gist. So I'm gonna get all my dyes put together and hopefully I'll have everything I need and I'll see you guys back up here. Now I didn't really think this part through. I'm gonna have to go through and break the glass and dye each sheep individually after I just built the whole thing. Luckily, I don't think sheep can escape a 1 block gap. So let's break this block and dye this one pink. Go up a little higher, dye him pink also. Maybe we'll do magenta for this guy. Magenta up here. We can do purple right here. Place that back in. Also purple. And I'm gonna keep doing this because this is gonna take a while. Be free, extra sheep. Be free. Okay, or just wander back into the corner. I don't want to have to slaughter you guys. Yeah, look at me in the eyes when I tell you that. All right, so far I made a little mistake. I got each color stacked on top of each other, and then there's these guys. I got 2 blues on the bottom and 2 cyans on the top. We're just gonna forget about that for now because I really don't want to have to run back to the storage room. But I'm gonna continue on. And officially, all the sheep have been dyed. And yeah, I know my rainbow's off. It's good enough for now though. All right, it's time to get you guys out of here. There's enough sheep noises already. With that finished, the last thing to do is the storage room. I feel like I keep saying the last thing, and there's just more things. Well, as you guys can see, I have the shears in the dispensers, and I have the collection system pretty much finished up. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, and I'm no redstone person, but it should work. Okay, that would have been an issue right there. Okay, it's not done yet. All right, now it should be done, so let's test this thing out. Here we go, place a cart right there, and then the 2 over on this side. If I let that thing go, we should start seeing some wool pop into here, and a good amount too. Oh yeah, we're getting wool. Look at that. And these top layers aren't even fully working yet. This one is. This one is not though. I'm gonna go get some grass and place some more in because it doesn't really look like it's growing. All right, the extra grass is placed in, so this thing should start working a little bit better. But oh man, is this crazy for only being on for like 2 minutes. Well, with that being said, I think it's time we make this thing look good because right now, yeah, it's quite ugly. And I think there's no better way than to finish off the episode with a good old time lapse. So let's jump into it. When it came to working on the outside of the build, I knew I wanted to change things up a little bit, but also I did know I wanted to build a tower. I went a little out of the box and used some deep slate for the base of this tower, and then went with some spruce for the actual tower itself. I really like this combo, especially when you add in some color, whether it's flowers or leaves, or even some candles, which I didn't do. At the very top of this build, I added in a flag, and I used wool, because I mean, obviously we just built a wool farm. Moving a little further down, it was time to start some terraforming. I replaced all the grass with some rooted dirt and coarse dirt, and then I built a little cliff in front of it just to hold the rubble back. I went through with some more lanterns, added those in, and then also built some small stones. And as usual, gotta add all the bone meal I can. Moving a little further down, it was time to build a pathway. I wanted to make sure this connected up with the rest of our village. Normally I have a hard time doing this and I always skip out on doing it, so I wanted to get it over with. I designed it to weave and wind down the side of the mountain, but nothing too special. Just a pathway that gets the job done and also looks sorta pretty. With that being said, the build is pretty much complete. Man, I really love this pathway. I love the addition of all the flowers. It makes it look so cool, and I like how it winds up the mountain. But the farm is pretty much complete, and man, do I love this thing. I think the tower was a great addition. There's nothing in it yet, and I don't really know what to put in there. So if you guys have any ideas, just let me know in the comments down below. I'm also super happy that I went for a birch roof. This area was looking really dark, so I decided to brighten it up with the birch. But let's see how this thing is doing. Oh my goodness. I mean, I was working for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, but still, that is so great. And the best part is, I don't even use wool that much. Well, my friends, it looks like the sun is about to set, which I think is my cue to end the episode. We crossed 2 more things off our checklist today. Well, really 1 thing. I don't think an auto wheat farm is on the actual to-do list, but I'm gonna count it though. Besides that though, guys, thank you so much for joining me in today's episode. I love your guys' love and support. It is huge for me. Thanks again. See you guys later.